friends, it's Christy. I'm the Crosshatch Quilter. I'm so happy to be back today talking to you. Last time we talked, I told you that I wouldn't take as long to come back between videos, but I lied because since then we have started homeschool, and boy, that has rocked our world. So I'm back. I hope that this video finds you well and healthy and happy, and having time to craft or stitch all the things. Like I said, we started school. My stepson has started college and he's doing well and happy. And he doesn't live here. He's moved away to college and he's in a dorm. So we're just excited for him. And then my daughter and I are doing homeschool. It's been quite the adventure so far. We started, I think, August 13th, and it's been a lot of work, and 6th grade is just definitely harder than any of us anticipated it would be. I've learned a lot, she's learned a lot, and we're very busy most of the day. It's at least a 6 or 7 hour day, which I thought it wouldn't take that long. But it's a lot of work, and I have been reminded how very human I am during this process. But she's doing well, and I'm proud of her. It requires a lot of work from both of us, so I have just been super busy. We're doing well though. I just don't have as much stitching to show you as I usually do because I have been very much into doing schoolwork. I have a previous finish to show you today, some happy mail, some purchases, some whips. I want to talk to you today about a SAL and a raffle for a charity that we're going to do, and some quilts. And as we get started, I'm sure that you will notice there's a different change of scenery in my sewing room. We've been busy decorating for fall around here. I don't decorate for Halloween yet. I put up pumpkins and leaves and fall decor. I did put up a couple things like this trick or treat cross stitch that I made, probably 20 years ago. I think it's from Cricket Collection, but I'm not sure, and I don't have the pattern anymore. And so then there's just a little witch up here that's a Raggedy Ann. This quilt right here is called Spools Quartet, and I completed the top last year, and then I've had it quilted, and I just put the binding on it and got it finished so that I could hang it up last week. And then on the tier tray here, I've just put up a new wreath, and as you can see, there's a sunflower and the crows, and they are from Michelle from Under the Woolen Willow, and she is on Etsy. I will post her Etsy shop below. She makes the most yummy, delicious things, from pin cushions to wool. I'm addicted to her shop and totally obsessed. She just makes the most fantastic homemade goodness. So if you're interested in her, I'll link that below. So I have a previous finish to show you today. This is, I can't decide where I'm going to hang this up. If I'm going to hang it up right there on my quilt ladder, or I have a little set here by my great grandma's treadle machine. But this is Olga's Stocking by Plum Street Samplers. I stitched it 2 years ago, and I stitched it with the called for linen and the called for threads, and I just love it. I finished mine with a little bit more of an allowance, seam allowance or edge than the pattern calls for. I just liked it showing a little bit bigger. This is such a massive stocking, I just kind of wanted it to highlight that. But here's the back. There's some, I believe this is Fig Tree fabrics, and then I did a little plaid on the inside. This is Blackbird fabric. But I just love this so much. I know a few people, Ginger Shoal, who has stitched it, Tina with For the Love of Stitches, and Deb with Country Stitches. They all have made one as well, and I know that Ginger keeps hers up all year long in her sewing room, and I'm so tempted. This was so much work. It was, and it's one of my very favorite pieces that I've ever stitched, but I do put it away. I might keep it out though. I just really super love this. So it was so fun to pull it out the other day, and I put some fall leaves and a few picks hanging out, and I might put it right there. We'll see. I don't know for sure yet. So then on to other previous finishes. I'm going to mix this with my Happy Mail because it's kind of a combined thing. But I did have to get this out the other day. This is a little bit more Halloween than my other decor that I've put up so far for fall. But it's just a cute little wooden bowl. And in it, I have all of my treasures that I have stitched. So the first one is, I believe it's called Trick or Treat Sampler by Lizzie Kate. And I've shown this before on a previous video. And it just has pumpkins on the back. I love this one so much. And then this is by Blackbird Designs, Cats on Parade. It's a drum. I should set this down so I can show you better. This is Cats on Parade by Blackbird Designs. I stitched it on Carrot by Weeks Dye Works and fully finished it myself. Those drums are a little bit tricky. And then this I actually purchased on eBay last year because it was a great price and it was just so cute. I believe that this is by the Primitive Stitcher. I don't know because I didn't stitch it. I don't know the pattern name, but I just love that and it looks super cute in my dough bowl. And then a little pumpkin that a friend of mine made and gifted me. And then I stitched this last year and finished it. It is on murky fabric, 32 count. Oh, the name eludes me as to the name of the chart. I'll put it across the screen or put it down below. But I just finished it as a simple pillow. I'm not a frou-frou bows and picks kind of girl. I love them when other people do them, but I just seem to like to finish pretty basic. So, and then I got some Happy Mail and I could not believe it. This came on the perfect day. I had had such a crummy day and I went to the mailbox and there was this amazing package and it had Brenda's name on it. Brenda from Brenda the Sampler Stitcher on Instagram and Brenda in the Serial Starter. But I immediately saw her name on my package, so I hurried and ripped it open right at the mailbox. But she sent this darling candy corn. It's so cute. I did not ask her if she made these. I'll have to ask her. And then this darling pumpkin, the button has fallen off, so I'm gonna fix that. But isn't that darling? It's wool applique and on this cute little pillow. I love it so much. So I keep everything in this bowl that has a pumpkin on the bottom and then the stars around the edge, and it's filled with little candy corns and little Halloween candies. So that is so much fun, and that is the one Halloween decoration that I put out a little bit early just because I can't resist having all this yumminess out. I know people that keep this up in their sewing room all year long. I think Brenda does, and I wish I had more room. I have a very small house, so I'm just going to enjoy this for 2 months while I can. So there's that. So then part of that yummy, wonderful package from Brenda, there was something else. And I could not believe when I opened up my package what she had sent me. She had known that I went gaga when this was released from Plum Street Samplers for the Dying to Stitch Retreat. And it's the Equality Sampler by Plum Street. And I just love it. It's a 3-part series, kind of. It's got the Heritage Sampler, the Constellation Sampler, and this one. And I just love it so much. I went home and I immediately text Brenda, and then I started it that night. And I haven't gotten very far. I need to pick it back up. I haven't stitched on it since that first day. But in a perfect world, I would super love to get this finished this year because it's 100 years since women have been able to vote since 1920, and so it would really be nice to be able to get this finished. So I don't know, we'll see. But since it's Sampler September, I'm hoping to put a lot more love into this. But there is my little start, just a strawberry and start of the flower. And then this is a little bit of over one. It's the start of the D for declaration. And I got myself a hoop from Hoop and Frame so that I can do that easier, because it is not very easy for me to do over one on 36 count. But I am loving this so much, and thank you so much, Brenda. It came on the perfect day. It just totally lifted my spirits, and I still can't believe that I'm the proud owner of this sampler, so I want to get it stitched right away. And then I got some more Happy Mail. It was my birthday this last weekend, and so I got some cards, some cute cards from friends. This one is from Susie Reno, and she included a math, a cute fun math little spreadsheet to figure out your birthday number. And I just laughed when I picked it up, because I've done so much math lately for homeschool, but I was like, oh, that little stinker. But I love Susie. She always has such a fun sense of humor. And so there's that card from her, and then I got one from Laura. And it is so fun to get birthday cards in the mail. This one's from Brenda. It is so fun. I need to get better about sending mail, handwritten cards, because it is just such a dying art, I think. Not very many of us do that anymore. So there was my Happy Mail, and then I also got another Happy Mail. I've been very spoiled lately. Laura sent me, I think she finished stitching this, so she sent it on to me, and it's by Barrick Samplers, which is Kathy Barrick, and it's 1848 reproduction sampler, and it's the little girls that she's totally obsessed with, and is going to make a wall of them. So I'm excited to start that. I will definitely stitch that. I just love it. And then she sent me one of my unicorn charts, the E2 Spot Motif Sampler. And I immediately went through my stash and found some linen and ordered the threads for it. So I am just super excited to start this. Thank you so much, Laura. I'm very blessed to have such great friends and feel very fortunate. So thank you so much. Okay, so next we're going to talk about a few purchases. I'm wondering if you can hear the wind through my video. It is so super windy and stormy here. Yesterday it was 89 degrees, and today it is, when I woke up this morning, it was 37 degrees outside. Gus did not want to go outside when we had to let him out. We opened the door and he kind of looked out and then stepped back and looked at me like, are you kidding me? And I feel the same way. It's just crazy. The only good part is it's been raining, and we have a local fire up on the mountain again, and it has helped, I believe, clear out a little bit of the ash and smoke in the air. Yesterday it was hot, and you could just see ash falling in the sky when we were outside. So hopefully that it will clear out the air and warm back up, because this is a little bit too early. I love fall, but I'm not ready for 37. I think right now it's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's only like 43 degrees. So it's crazy. Anyway, so if you can hear the wind, I apologize. My purchases that I have done recently, I was watching Michelle with Cozy Egg, and her last few videos, she has been showing progress on Halloween Eden by Plum Street Samplers, and it's an older chart. I did find this on Etsy, and it was on sale, so that was even better. But she just showed her finish on a recent video, and I fell in love with this, so I just went to look for it, and I was surprised that I could find it. But I think this is super fun. You can either stitch them as pumpkins, or you can stitch them as jack-o'-lanterns. So I think I'm going to stitch it just as shown here, like Michelle did. I just love that so much. So I'm excited about that. I will probably try and get that started in October sometime. maybe. We'll see. And then this is also a purchase because of Michelle at Cozy Egg. Her birthday is in August, and she was stitching on Anne Uffendell. And every time she showed her progress, either on Instagram or Flosstube, I love this so much. And Olivia B has also stitched it and finished it, and I just love it so much. And I had reservations about getting it at first because it has a little bit of specialty stitches and also over one, but I decided that this piece needed to be stitched. So I've got the chart and I've been kitting it up with the DMC, and I don't know when I'm going to start it, but I at least now have it in my stash so that I can do that when the feeling so comes over me. My other two purchases are Hilda Boo and Sunflower 2 by Brenda Gervais, and I got the called for linen to go with that, so I'm excited that I will definitely be starting that in October. And then I was watching Hello from Liz Matthews, and she had her mom on there, and they showed this new release from Kathy, and I immediately went and found it on pre-order, and it's Jack's Urn by Kathy Barrick. It is absolutely perfect in every way. I just love it so much. So there's my purchases. I have one more purchase, and I'm going to try and put it up here on the screen if I can figure it out. It is Southern Land by Al Forrest Embroidery, and I just have downloaded the chart as PDF. And so I haven't printed out the chart yet because I don't want to use all my color in my color printer. And then when I was pulling the floss, I've dropped one of the flosses and I can't find it. But Celeste from Celeste Creates and myself ordered this chart, and we were talking about the colors that would look good with it, and it calls for DMC, or Al Forrest does have a thread pack that you can purchase for it. But I just went through my stash and found some colors. The missing color that I've dropped somewhere and I can't find it is Copper by Gentle Arts, and then there's Chesapeake Bay by Classic Colorworks, Buckeye Scarlet by the Gentle Art, and Blue Corn, I believe. So I don't know when I'm going to start this because I have so many other things on my plans, but I love the chart and I will get to it for sure at some point. So that is all of my purchases in Happy Mail. Now we're going to go on to whips. I have a few new starts since last time we met, and the first one is Prim Stitch Series by Lori Holt of Be My Bonnet and Fat Quarter Shop, and I'm stitching mine on 36 count fawn by Picture This Plus with the called for Aurifil floss. I love that so much. I can't wait to get back to it. I'm stitching with one strand over two. That Aurifil floss is the first time I've used it, and it is just absolutely wonderful. I am looking forward to using it in more future projects. So then my next new start is Jane Tyndall 1864 by Needlework Press. And I was talking to Laura of Brenda and the Serial Starter, and we had just watched Nicole start it, and I went, oh, we need to start this immediately. And I knew that Laura had it in her stash, and we were talking to Emily C. from Eclectic Possessions, and she had it in her stash. And so we're like, let's just go ahead and start it. If not now, when, right? And this year's been so crazy already. What's one more start? And so we all picked a day to start it. And I'm stitching mine on 36 count Confederate Gray. I haven't gotten very far yet, and that's upside down or sideways. There it is. I haven't gotten very far yet because I've seen lots of squirrels, but I really love this. It is one of my very favorite samplers that I've ever seen. So I'm hoping that since it's Sampler September, I will be working on this for the soiree. My husband kitted this up for me for Christmas with the called for silks, and so I really want to get back to this month, and I plan to as soon as I get, well, I'll show you here in a second. So that's another start, but I'm really having a lot of fun getting to know Emily, and since then Michelle with Cozy Egg has joined, and the Sal is, we've hashtagged it. Emily so geniusly came up with the hashtag of social distancing sheep, because on the chart they are just perfectly spaced out, cute little sheep all lined up. So that was the perfect hashtag that she came up with. And since then, several people on Instagram have joined in on the Sal. Flame Fingers, and I can't think of the others right now, but it has been so much fun. And so if you are tempted to start this, please do and join us. I don't think that I'll be getting it done anytime soon, so we'll be doing the hashtag in the Sal for quite a long time. And then my last start is, I started this on my birthday on September 6th, which is the day that they left Plymouth coming to America. And I haven't gotten very far yet because, again, school work. But there is my little start. I started on the flag and got one little bird in, a seagull. And I got my kit from Kitten Stitcher. So this is fabric from XG Design, 36 count. And I love it. It's on Zweigart base. If you haven't tried XG Design fabrics, I highly recommend. I've really enjoyed stitching on it so far. So there's my new starts, and now let me show you my current whips. Since it's so Sampler September is been hosted by Senorita Stitches, and I forget her name just because I'm filming. But if you are stitching just a sampler, it's hashtag Sampler September. And if you are stitching a reproduction sampler, then it's Sampler Soiree. And I am working on Sarah Casey Unwin, 1848. And I have gotten quite a bit of progress on this since the last time I showed you. I will try to insert a previous picture if I can find one. But I have worked on the bottom. I filled in all the animals and the flowers and the birds, the cats. I got quite a bit done on there. The only thing I need to do now is just fill in the border flowers and the words down here. I think that I'm going to put my mom's name on this, and the year of her birth and death on here. So I think that's what I'm going to do and dedicate this to her. One of her favorite colors was burgundy, and it is definitely my favorite color. So it just reminds me of her every time I look at it. And so then I went up here and I got the words done and the two trees, and I'm working on this flower right now. And there's the top. So I'm really hoping that I can get this done in the month of September. I think I can do it. It's still quite a bit of work, but I think it's doable. So that one is definitely a focus piece and a goal of mine to get it done. Then my next project that I've been working on quite a bit is Consider the Lilies by Heartstring Samplery, and I have been working on this every day. It's kind of been my morning piece. I love the sentiment. I kind of want it to be a focus piece for 2020 just because of what the sentiment is. So I did all the words across the middle, and then I've done the flower above the house and filled in everything. So everything to the left of the house is complete. I just need to fill in the house. And then I decided to go up top, and so I started on the tree here. I've done this flower, and this little quilt block up here. I started on the horse last night, and I am loving this so much. It is definitely a big girl, and I don't know if I can get it done this year, but I definitely want to have it be a focus piece because I just love it so much. And I'm stitching this one strand over to on 36 count vintage buttercream by Lakeside Linens. All right. And then I have a couple pieces that I'm mad at. And that is Land That I Love by Teresa Kogut. Love this piece. I've messed up somewhere, and so I haven't worked on it a bunch since I found my error, but since last time I've shown you progress, I started filling in the house quite a bit and started on the words. And I've messed up my spacing here. I can't decide what I'm gonna do, if I'm gonna fudge it or if I'm just going to keep on, if I'm gonna fix it. I haven't decided yet, so it just kind of got put in the corner. Once I mess up on a piece, it's kind of tainted for a while. I have to kind of set it aside, and I've just noticed that about me, that it takes me a while to get over being mad at it, and then I'll forgive it and go back to it. I know, I'm weird. So then my next piece that I've worked on is the Berry Bowl Sampler, and I'm stitching this with Smurfette Stitches Adele, and we're stitching 1/2 and then sending it to each other. I'm working on the left side on 36 count Ren 1/2, and I think that since the last time we spoke, I worked on these 3 berry bowls. I love this so much. I really need to, it looks like fall to me, and the colors are just my favorite color palette, so I'm really excited to get back to that, and I really need to put some love into it and focus. I have another piece that I've been stitching. It's been a secret stitch, and I'm going to insert a picture. And I stitched this for my friend Celeste of Celeste Creates, and it is a piece by Plum Street Samplers. I'm going to put the name right here because I don't remember the name of the piece right off the top of my head. The next piece that I've been working on is Autumn on Lazy Bear Mountain by Kathy Barrick, and this is a stitch along with Olivia from Pumpkin Hollow Quilts, and the hashtag is Lazy Autumn Beast Sal. I'm stitching mine on 36 count Ren by Picture This Plus, and here's my progress. Since the last time I showed you, I've filled in the orange on the house, and I've been filling in the windows, and I don't really like the windows with the orange, so I've changed it this last column, and I'm going to unpick these and redo them. I've unpicked it and started with Honeycomb from Classic Colorworks, I believe. I'll show you. Here's the threads, and the thread link is from Becky from Socks for Mom, and she has also started this. So many of you have joined us on Instagram with this stitch along, Lazy Autumn Beast Sal, and it is so fun to watch everyone's progress. And originally Olivia and I had started it to replace our stitch that we were both doing together, the Queen of Freedom, and since then so many people have joined us, and it is just so much fun. I am so glad that we chose this piece, but it is Honeycomb by Classic Colorworks that I am now stitching the windows in, so I'm going to go back, and I like that a little bit better. It just looks, there's just a little bit more color contrast on the house. So that is Autumn on Lazy Bear Mountain. I love to work on this when I go camping, and I'm super excited for fall camping. It's gonna be a little bit cold, but the last time we went camping was the weekend after my last video, so it's been about a month, and we had been cooking Dutch oven potatoes outside, and a lot of you since my last video have asked me what is in Dutch oven potatoes, and they're super simple. What they are is just potatoes, bacon, and onions. And you saute the onions and bacon, and you don't drain the bacon grease, and then you just put in the potatoes. We like to use Yukon Gold potatoes, but russet or any kind of potato would do. And so we'd been cooking those outside, and my husband had been grilling steaks on the little camp chef. And you know, when you cook Dutch oven potatoes, it's like an over-hour process. So I'm sure that we had filled up the whole entire mountainside with this yummy smell. And we had sat down to eat, and I had been eating for a few minutes, and I looked up, and not 50 feet in front of me, staring straight at me, was a bear. It was a black bear, and he was pretty good size. I have never seen a bear in real life. I have seen one at the zoo, and I've seen him on TV, of course, but I had never seen one in person. And my initial reaction was hurry and grab the dog, because I knew that if Gus saw him, he would try and go over to him, and that wouldn't have been good. So we got everyone safe in our camp trailer, and then my husband and I went out there because we were worried that if we weren't standing there by the food, that he would come over. We had bear mace. We have all the important things to keep safe. And plus we had our camp trailer right there. So we just were like, shoo, go away. And I don't know if that was the right thing to do or not. He didn't stand on his hind legs, but he did lift up his lips and like growl at us. And he circled our camp for about 10 minutes and wouldn't leave. And it was just, he didn't ever come any closer. He just stayed that same perimeter, but he went around. So we did get in our side-by-side, and we went, and the noise when we first started it scared him away, and then we just went and chased him. And at the end of the video, I will insert some pictures of our friend the bear. So this autumn on Lazy Bear Mountain has taken on a whole new meaning for me, and I will always remember stitching this with friends and also Mr. Bear up in the mountains. So it's a super fun piece, and I just can't believe that we saw a bear. I was, after he left, we were all just in total shock, but also like, oh, that was so cool. But I know that it's dangerous, and we take bear mace with us when we go camping, and we don't ever go hiking without it. And all black bears don't usually attack people unless there's an underlying health issue or severe hunger, something like that. So, but to add to the craziness, that night, in the middle of the night, Gus got up in the middle of the night and needed to go outside at like 3 in the morning. And my husband and I were like, I'm not going out there. I'm not going out there. And my husband got a flashlight and bear mace and went outside with Gus. And we had him on a leash so he couldn't just run off. And he kept looking at my husband like, why do I have to be on a leash? Anyway, of course he had to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, right? I mean, it wouldn't have been camping and seeing a bear without Gus having to get up. So anyway, I have 2 more whips that I have worked on to show you. Actually, this is a start since the last time that I filmed, and that is autumn at Hawk Run Hollow. And I had bought the conversion and the linen from Shepherd's Bush, and it is so yummy. I could not wait to get this started. So I haven't gotten very far yet. Just done the leaves in the corners and started the pumpkins. But this is on straw by Weeks Dye Works, 36 count. And it is a very, very long piece. And I work on this when I go camping and also on Friday nights. Becky with Socks for Mom, she has a hashtag that she does, Hawk Run Hollow Friday. And so I really try hard to work on this on Friday nights with her. I was going to show you my threads. I haven't gotten them all like on a pretty, I haven't gotten them all organized yet, but they all are here. And my friend Cindy Stitches on Instagram sent me the most darling thread bling. pumpkin head guy. And he is just so perfect for this. So I'll get these all organized so they're pretty for you next time. But my friend Lori, she's stitching this as well, and she's eliminating the Halloween blocks. And I loved that idea because I'm also stitching Halloween at Heartstring Hollow, and Halloween at Heartstring Hollow is definitely all Halloween, and this is all autumn. So I kind of want to eliminate the two more Halloween pieces and keep this more of an autumn feel. And so what I'm doing is I'm deleting those two, the witch and the cemetery. And I have a few more Heartstring Hollow charts. And so I haven't 100% decided yet, but since they're all the same stitch count, you can, you know, insert different houses from different charts. I'm thinking about this one right here. Really any of these would do. They have such an autumn color palette to them. But I'm for sure going to insert this block from the farms of Heartstring Hollow. I love the weeping willow tree, and then just the barn with the pig. So then that leads me to my other whip, which is Halloween at Heartstring Hollow. And I have never really been in love with a couple of the blocks on here. This doesn't scream Halloween to me. It's just the, you know, the roof of houses and some bats. It's pretty, I like it, but it's just not super Halloween-y. And then this one down here with the train. It does have some ghosts, but it could be eliminated and the chart wouldn't, you know, it wouldn't hurt anything. So what I'm doing is I'm inserting these two blocks into my Halloween at Heartstring Hollow. And I have started that. I started the witch block up here. So she's going to be facing this way. And so far I just have half of a broom, half of a cat, half of the witch, and half of the moon. But I'm going to enjoy working on this. And I'm just really excited to add that cemetery down here and with the ghosts. And I just love, love, love that witch block. That great big huge moon. It's just perfect. So those are my plans. And for now, I'm going to probably just focus on one and not the other. And then as Halloween comes, or October comes, I will stitch a little bit more on the Halloween at Heartstring Hollow. But I definitely stitch on this on Friday nights with Becky and a few other friends. And that is so much fun. Okay, so that is everything that I have worked on. And now we will be on to talking about a few more things. My friend Cynthia Brew from Stitching in the Light here on Flosstube, and she's Cynthia Brew on Instagram, invited me and Olivia from Pumpkin Hollow Quilts to co-host a SAL with her. And when she asked me to do it, I was so excited because I love to stitch fall. I love pumpkins. It's my favorite time of year. So I'm just thrilled to be asked to be co-host. And she had the idea to stitch pumpkins in October. You can stitch them beforehand and use the hashtag. There's already been people using the hashtag. It's the Great Pumpkin Sal. But we didn't want to take anything away from September, Sampler September. So I'm going to start on October 1st. And I just wanted to show you some of the fun pumpkin projects that I've picked. But you can sew pumpkins, you can crochet, any type of craft that you want to do that has a pumpkin. Go ahead and use the hashtag so that we can all see each other's fun projects. And I just wanted to show you a couple of the things that I want to start stitching starting October 1st. And the first one, and my very most favorite one, is Boo to You by Brenda Gervais of With Thy Needle and Thread. I've wanted to stitch this ever since it came out, and I've got it all kitted up and I'm ready to start. This will be my October 1st start. And then I've got a few more slated in case I get that finished. I've got Penny Pumpkin by the Scarlet House. I love this one. And also from the Scarlet House is Autumn Alphabet. And I've got the little butter board that goes with it all ready to go. So I really want to get these 3 finished in the month of October. We'll see, right? Big dreams, big dreams. And then my friend Yvette and I want to stitch all the stockings from Blackbird Designs. Ever since Brenda, Sampler Stitcher, showed hers, I have been obsessed with them. And I have a little tree in my sewing room that I keep up year round. So I just think it'd be so fun to have all of these for seasonally up all year. They have 4th of July, they have some for each month. And so I'm going to start with the Halloween. And this is the first one that I want to stitch. So that will go along with the Great Pumpkin Sal. So those are my plans. As we were talking, Olivia and I and Cynthia, Cynthia mentioned that she wanted to do a fundraiser for a charity that is very near and dear to her heart. It is her future son-in-law's family's ran charity, and it is called Freedom Shield Foundation. And it is a foundation that works for human trafficking, getting people out of that, getting them help, getting them the necessities to be able to get back on their feet and go forward in life. And it's a wonderful foundation. And I am super just blessed and thankful that she invited me to make a bag. I'm going to make a quilted project bag to be as part of the raffle. And what she's asking everyone, if you would like to join, is to go to it's freedomshieldfoundation.com, and I'll put all this information down below. Can you hear Gus snoring? Sorry, I'm so sorry. But for every $5 donation, you'll get a raffle ticket. So if you want to donate 5, 10, 15, each $5 increment, you will get a raffle ticket. And on October 31st, she is going to pull the raffle tickets. And there's quite a bit of wonderful floss tubers and Instagram makers that are joining in and making handcrafted giveaways. I'm going to do a quilted project bag. I know that Olivia is making a project bag as well as Cynthia. Goose Denise, I know she's making a project bag, but there's lots of other makers that have joined in and are going to be providing lots of giveaways or for the raffle. So it's awesome to help, and it's such a great cause, but it's fun that we can all be a part of it and do something in this dark time. So I'm pleased to be helping do that. So Cynthia is asking that after you donate, you go to freedomshieldfoundation.com and you make a donation, to email her the receipt so that she can enter your name. And I will post her email below, but it is sincerelycynthia.cb@gmail.com, but I'll link all that information below for you. So please join us. That is going to be so much fun, and I'm excited to help donate. Next up, I wanted to show you some quilts that I've been working on. The first one is Quilter's Cottage by Lori Holt of Be My Bonnet, and this is a sew along that is going on Instagram right now. It's the hashtag Quilter's Cottage sew along with Lori Holt and Fat Quarter Shop. And I am so excited to show you my progress. I have just totally loved making this quilt so far, and here is where I'm at. It is a big, big quilt. So the first week was the trees, and there's one on each side. And then there's this great big house in the middle. And then there's flowers on each side of the cobblestone pathway. And then next is the fence. So that is Quilter's Cottage Sew Along. The next few weeks there are some quilt blocks at the bottom of the quilt. let me show you. So next we're going to be doing these 3 quilt blocks, and they're hanging out to dry in the front yard there on a railing. I just love that so much. This has been such a fun so long. Lori's instructions are always precise and so easy to follow. At first, a few people had mentioned to me, oh, I'm sitting on the quilt. A few people had mentioned to me that the fence looked intimidating. It totally isn't. There's a lot of pieces to cut out, but if you label them with, you know, ABCs, I get alphabeties from the Fat Quarter Shop, and Lori Holt also has some sticky ones. If you just label them on design boards and then you follow her instructions, she has everything, the diagrams showing everything very precisely. It is super easy to put together. So that is Quilter's Cottage. And my next quilt is, this is the one that I was showing you the fabric from Joe Morton Lancaster Jelly Roll. And I had watched Stitching in Idaho, who is Shanda, and on her wall of quilts, like the 4th one in, is a 4-patch, where there's a 4-patch and then a solid square, and a 4-patch and a solid square. And I just fell in love with that pattern, and so I've been making this along with Tina from For the Love of Stitches and Olivia from Pumpkin Hollow Quilts, and I finished mine. I just need to go send it off to be quilted, but here is the quilt. I made mine 8 squares across and 10 down. I think this is one of my very favorite quilts that I have ever made. It's a very simple quilt to put together, and we didn't follow a pattern. It was more a collaboration of helping figure out the pattern. But there are jelly rolls. So jelly rolls are 2.5-inch squares. So you would sew all of these together, and then the next block is a 4.5-inch block. And then on the, and it's all sewn on the bias or a diagonal. And so you start up in the corner, and then you have to subcut a square into triangles for the corner. And there's, I'll link the website below that shows you how to do that. For a 4.5-inch block, what size square you have to cut to have the right triangle size for the corners. And then I did a 2.5-inch red strip, and then just a 4.5-inch of the solid fabric, or not solid, but to finish it off. So I'm super in love with this and excited to get it quilted. I think that's all that we have today. We appreciate you stopping by. We know that there's lots of Flosstubers out there to watch, and we just really appreciate your friendship and all the sweet comments. Gus is in his t-shirt today because it is cold here today, and all he wants to do is sleep when it's cold. So if you've heard him snoring, we apologize. But he's looking out the window right now. It is so windy and stormy outside. I really hope that it warms up because it's been so cold today. Anyway, thank you so much for stopping by. Happy stitching, everyone.